DCT here. Hold on, let me pause this really quick. Yes, a little bit. I don't know. Hey everybody, DCT here. With Stat Talk.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's just me and him tonight. We are doing a live call-in, so you guys can call. Let me check how good everything is right now. So, okay, so it's apparently really nice. Where's DCT? I am, alright, I got a haircut. I just had a formal thing, so I'm all dressed up, you know, so, okay, so we got 5 people. So, this is a live call-in. If you need the number, I'll say it in Stat Talk. If you do need it, we'll put it out. So you guys call in. I know that one guy wants to call in and debate me. Luckily, though, I came prepared. I have the ladies like that sun stay on your suit. Ha! Thanks. Oh boy, you know it's weird having short hair. You know, it's always down to my shoulder. What's the number? What's the number? Let me pull it right up for you. Stat Talk, do you remember it by heart?
No.
Alright, well, that's good, because I have it right here. It's 207-312-9135. 207-312-9135. So you guys call in. Let me tell you, if someone calls in to debate me like he said he would in the comment, it's going to be fun. I'm not saying I'll win. I probably won't. I'm not good at this stuff. You know, I've never really debated someone that's really good. You know, the best I've ever done is Stat Talk here. So we all know that's not much of a fight. Okay, so we are getting a call. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Let me say first off, is this the guy that wants to debate me?
It is.
Alright, so let me tell you this. It's gonna be fun. I enjoy you guys calling in, alright? It's fun to be able to look at your comments and say, yeah, no, but it's always fun. It's always a fun show, and we enjoy doing this and reading you guys' comments. So, what do you want to debate about?
Well, first I just want to start off by telling you that, you know, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate that you're out there talking about what you love, talking about your Cowboys, and I have an appreciation for that, doing that as young as you are. So I just want to start out saying that. So, but there are a few talking points that I wanted to bring up. I've been watching some of your videos over the past week, and particularly the one about Ezekiel Elliott and the debate about whether or not he's the best running back in the league right now. And but the comment that I wanted to bring up was regarding your statement that there's no coming back from injury.
Well,
I wanted to sort of see where your head was at on that, and if you seriously believe that.
I mean,
there's no coming back from injury.
Well, it depends on the type of injury. It depends, like, if it's a broken leg, yeah, you're probably coming back, but a torn ACL, if you force them into the game too early, that could end up messing it up completely. But, you know, if you give it enough time where it can heal and it's okay 100% and you know it's okay 100%, then maybe it's just hard to say, because you never know if there's something messed up a little bit still that can cause slight more damage and keep increasing. Like with Tony Romo, because, you know, he couldn't stay healthy because once he got hurt, it was just always getting hurt, and we never know with injury. It's hard to say. Personally, from my experience, hey, if you get injured, it's hard to come back. You can. I just don't know. We have to wait and see. You know, I'd like to see Carson Wentz. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'd love to see Carson Wentz come back. And let me tell you, I know it wouldn't be a blowout each time, but it'd be a good game each time. It wouldn't be like 34-0 on either side. It'd be like 24-28 each game, and it'd be a nail-biter, and it'd be a good game if Carson Wentz could come back from that injury, and that's why I'm hoping he does. And same with David Johnson. If he can come back fully and 100%, it'd be great to have him back, and it'd be a good battle between Zeke and him. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next season, because I know this season it was a letdown for 90% of the teams, like the Packers, the Cowboys, even the Cardinals, because they were expecting Johnson to be very good. But he got hurt, and it's sad. Same with the Giants, Odell. Injuries killed the teams this year.
I mean, obviously I can list a bunch of people that, never really come back from injury, like Joe Theismann, broke his leg, and then I think that was the last snap he played when Lawrence Taylor broke his leg. But then, when you cite Tony Romo as an example of, when people get injured, it just sort of piles on. Tony Romo was never seriously a staple quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he was the Cowboys' starting quarterback, obviously, for a while, and they had some stability with him, but he's not a good example to use for his injury. However, you also have people like Tom Brady, who tore his ACL in week 1 of 2007 or 2008, just 2008, and then that is now going to his 3rd Super Bowl in the last decade.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty blanket statement. There's no coming back from injury. You can name any NFL great, and there's almost a guarantee that they have come back from some sort of injury, whether it be a broken wrist or a broken rib or a separated shoulder or a torn ACL, anything like that. You can see there's tons of examples of that. So Peyton Manning, for example, injured his neck over and over and over again.
That's fair.
Second Super Bowl last year, or 2 years ago, and is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL of all time.
Right. And I'd like to pile on to what you said. You're exactly right. Troy Aikman, one of my examples, he got hurt a couple times, I believe, in his first 3 years. And, man, imagine what would have happened if he would have stayed injured. I don't think Cowboys would have won as much, and maybe that would have led a way for the Eagles to win one. Because back in the 90s, those were pretty much, I guess, the top 2 teams in the NFC East. It was a battle between the Cowboys, the Eagles, and somewhat the Giants. I mean, the Giants weren't as good in the 90s as they were pretty much back in the 80s. That back in the late 90s, 1996 and stuff, LT starting to get old and stuff. So, and like you said, LT, he hurt his leg, and, but same with Tom Brady. He's good. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I'll never say that he's not. He's very good. No matter what I've said before, he's a good player. All right, and I just think I think he did tear his ACL before, and he came back from that. But we all know that he doesn't run fast, and he runs like an injured giraffe, is what I've gone on record saying, because when he runs, it's not too pretty.
Hold on. What does his ability to run have to do with his ability as a quarterback? And before you say anything, I understand that being mobile is a big part of being a quarterback, and we see that with quarterbacks like Cam Newton and even Carson Wentz and a little bit of Dak Prescott. So don't get me wrong, I understand that that's part of the game. But, I mean, obviously, if Tom Brady runs like an injured giraffe, then I hope I could run like an injured giraffe as well, because if that's what it takes to win 5 Super Bowls over a span of 15 years or whatever,
well,
I mean, that's incredible. So I don't really think you should hold that against him. That's another thing that I want to talk about.
Well, so what I'm saying, though, is Brady, if he gets in trouble, he can get away, and just not as fast. And even my grandfather, who, they're both Patriots fans, and they've said because of Brady's slowness, he cannot run. Like, there's been an opening for at least 5 yards where he knows if he ran, he'd get hit hard. because you wouldn't have been able to get out of bounds. And it always helps to have a little bit of mobility, but it comes in and it helps out a lot, being able to be mobile. And him just being, he's not as fast. He's about my speed, probably a lot faster though. And it just helps out a little bit to be able to run fast. Well, not so much fast, but to be able to escape.
Right.
Right. Someone just said that Tom Brady was never a mobile quarterback, though, and that's true.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it does help to have mobility to get out some pressure and avoid the sack every now and then. But I mean, I think we're not recognizing the fact that when it comes to a quarterback like Tom Brady, he's a true passer, and he will try to make a play with his arm for as long as possible, and so he doesn't really need to rely on his legs.
Right, he can throw the ball.
Super Bowl.
Right.
But we're getting off topic.
Right.
Another one of the talking points that I wanted to bring up was I think it was the same video actually. You said that you can make a case that Michael Vick is a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
Well, the thing is, I like Michael Vick because if he needs to, he can be able to run and escape the pocket. He has a little bit of a good arm. I love a quarterback who can run personally. Tom Brady, though, he's good. He's won Super Bowls. But Michael Vick didn't really have as much of a team built around him. I don't think he had that great of a tight end. He had an okay one.
Wasn't that great of a tight end?
For Michael Vick. I forget who his tight end was. I don't think he was that good, though. If I'm thinking of the right tight end.
Okay. Maybe that's neither here nor there.
Right. I also don't... He had one or two good receivers where Brady has a full expansion of tight end and stuff. I also don't think his offensive coordinator and head coach...
Tom Brady has never really had a stellar cast of receivers. Like we saw in 2007, that the one season he had Randy Moss, he breaks the record for most touchdown passes in a season.
Oh yeah.
And it's like all these other years he has these no-name quarterbacks. You cited Chris Hogan as one of these like amazing quarterbacks or amazing receivers on the Patriots. And I mean the dude played lacrosse in college. And then I'm not saying don't get me wrong, he's a great receiver, but he's not even top 15 in the league right now.
Right.
And, I mean, one of his top receivers right now, Julian Edelman, is out for the season, tore his ACL at the beginning of the season, and hasn't played a snap this year.
Right, and that has to hurt.
I don't even really think it's that. So that point doesn't really help in terms of saying that Michael Vick is a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
Well, I just don't think that...
The team situation isn't his fault.
Well, that's true.
The team situation, you can't put Tom Brady at a disadvantage just because he has had better organization to build a team around Tom Brady.
Right.
Just because Michael Vick might not have had a great team doesn't mean you should put him at an advantage over Tom Brady. Like maybe he would have been able to do better with Tom Brady. That's always a hypothetical.
Right.
And hypotheticals, you already know with me, I don't like them very much. So right. Tom Brady's obviously better than Michael Vick.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that, and I'll go on record right now as saying Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best players to ever play. I mean, it's hard to say that he's the best player to ever play if, I don't think you can compare, a quarterback to a defensive end. It's hard to do that because, they play different positions. So,
I agree with that point. I don't necessarily like when people say Tom Brady is the best NFL player of all time. I think that's
right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's the GOAT in terms of quarterback, but it's hard like you said, it's hard to compare Lawrence Taylor to Tom Brady or Deion Sanders to Tom Brady and stuff like that. So, but I mean, who is a better quarterback than Tom Brady in your opinion?
Well, the reason I'm saying this, Tom Brady.
It's because you're a Cowboys fan.
No. I'd have to say, one of the players who played in the 70s, one of the quarterbacks who played then, because they didn't have all the technology which is a huge advantage to have like a radio in your helmet or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but Brady has something on his arm. That's a huge advantage to have a little microphone, or I think they have it in their radios and the helmets to be able to communicate.
That has absolutely nothing to do with his ability to play quarterback, though. That's just a matter of play calling.
Well, that's true, but
yeah,
you have
can't
to
put them at a disadvantage and advantage. You
okay.
can't do that. That's just not. That's
and even like those, I know what you're talking about. I mean, the captains of each of the defense and the offense and the special teams all have specific helmets that the coordinators can talk into, and they can hear and I get what you're talking about. But those, I don't know if you knew this or not. A lot of people don't. But those radios cut out when there's 15 seconds to go on the play clock.
Oh, really?
So that 15 seconds, you're on your own, and you still have to read coverages at the line. You still have to audible if you see a play that's not going to work, so you audible different plays. So that's, I mean, and then the plays on the wristband. I mean, that's just so you can call the plays better in the huddle, and you can just. I mean, Bill Belichick says, okay, check right, 81 flop. And so Tom Brady looks at his wrist, and it's check right, 81 flop. And then so he just calls that in the huddle, and then linemen know what to do with their blocking schemes, receivers know what routes to run, stuff like that.
Oh, well, thanks for clearing that. I actually didn't know that the radio cuts out when there's 15 seconds. I did not know that. So I have to take note of that, because saying that it goes for the whole time could get me in a lot of trouble later on. So you want
see these hypotheticals? They just
I'm glad
you can't work with them.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, yeah, I got a few more things if you're up for it.
We have time for one more thing, I guess.
All right. Let me pick a good one then. Let's talk about. No, I want to pick something else. Okay, so you released a video earlier today about the NFL admitting to cheating.
Right, and that's not just for the Patriots.
Yeah, that's completely false. That's not anywhere on any sort of news media.
Well,
there's nobody that's talking about that.
You saw an incorrect source.
Well, I saw 3 to 4 or 5 different videos saying saying different things, so I wasn't exactly sure. And let me tell you, there's also proof that they might throw a call in for one. Like, I'm sorry, Browns fans, I'm gonna pick on you. So they might just throw in, oh, that could be called as a penalty. Okay, even though it's not. Okay, rough, whatever. Pass interference when there was none on the Cleveland Browns number whatever defense. What they could, that there's definitely cases of that happening, and that could be rigging it, because it could be a big play that really could have changed the momentum in the game. That could happen, and in my opinion, that could be rigging the game. So it's not just for the Patriots. It goes for pretty much all 32 teams in the NFL. Not just the Patriots.
You saw an incorrect source.
I don't think,
that.
A few years ago, there was a NBA referee that got caught rigging games because he bet on some games or something, and so people were devastated about it. It was all over the news, and there's people saying this is a travesty against basketball.
Right.
And it was that big of a deal that one referee got caught doing that, and so I think that we would definitely know by now if there was something shady going on in the referees association, and there's not. And there's you can pull out examples of this person got flagged for this, and it looks weird, or this person got flagged, and then it moved the Patriots or the Titans or the Jaguars or the Eagles or the Falcons up 15 yards, and then they were able to kick a field goal. And that's all circumstantial, and you have to take into account, like, being there in person, and you don't have as good a view as you do on the field, and you're watching it on TV instead. And in terms of the postseason, like, people were saying, like, oh, this ref helped the Pats beat the Jags when they were down by 10 with like 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The NFL Referees Association takes the best referees from the regular season and then puts them in the postseason. And then if you make a bunch, and they review, the Referees Association reviews every single game each week.
Right.
Reviews each of the penalties called to make sure that these refs are doing good. And if they weren't, they'll mark it down. And if they get enough marks in the season, they don't get to participate in the postseason. And so with the postseason, we're getting the best of the best. And so I hear this every single year that, oh, the Patriots just, you know, there's a meme going around. It's like, oh, it's the referees versus the Eagles.
Right.
And that's dumb. That's dumb because it's not. It's the Patriots versus the Eagles, and the refs are not throwing games for doing the Patriots on the biggest professional sports stage in America.
Yeah,
Well, you just got sat down, DCT.
Well,
that incorrect
I'm
source.
actually looking it up right now, and it says that those rumors are exactly false. So I am taking that video down because I learned that is incorrect. And let me tell you, refs can sometimes throw games for teams. Now, whether it be the Patriots, whether it be the Cowboys, which probably has happened before, whether it be the Browns, whether it be the Bank, whether it be any of the 32 teams, they probably do it once in a while.
There's no sort of exception to that. That's just not true. There's no like, oh, well, maybe every now and then. No. Those refs would be fired immediately and probably placed in, and legitimately have jail time for that because, like, that's like, I mean, usually there's like mob ties or mafia ties or something to that, and that's usually the case, that sort of thing. And we would know immediately. And so, that's also false.
Yeah, these different calls, you have to remember the refs are people too. And even with like video capture and all these things, like there might be one mistake every once in a while from a referee, but they're also people too. So you can't just go and say that they rigged the game because one call was called in another favor.
Right.
And that might just be a referee making a mistake and just like, you know, the video recording just not backing it up to the a little bit shady in the gray area, and the referee calls in one area. So
yeah, guys, I am looking it all up right now, and it is saying that it is false. That's not on YouTube, so later, probably tonight, I am going to release a video saying that this is fake, because I know that some people believed it, me being one of them. I probably shouldn't have. Don't believe everything you hear online. That's a big lesson that's coming out of this video.
Especially if it's one video.
Actually, there's 6.
There's a bunch of conspiracy videos on YouTube that are titled like, here's 100% accurate proof that the NFC Championship game was rigged, and stuff like that. So it's probably something like that.
And if it does say that here's 100% proof, that's fake.
He got the video from a YouTube channel called Satire.
Actually, no, it's not that one. It's it's not from that. It is. That's not the video that I watched, actually.
Well, it was one that you should not believe.
Yeah.
So, always remember, guys, if you're looking up your sources or anything, just look them up on the NFL Network and other talk shows that are 100% accurate. Don't go to random YouTube channels that have like 1,000 subscribers.
And I guess when it comes to stuff like that, I'm trying to work on it. All right, I'll work on it a little bit more over the off season. Don't come here first. If it comes from NFL, where you don't come here first. If it comes to conspiracy theories, go somewhere else first, because I probably not gonna hit on that. I guess I'm mainly gonna have to talk about the Eagles in one of my later videos. God. Guys, comment if you want me to talk about the Eagles. Comment if you don't, because I really don't.
You want to talk about the Eagles?
No, I don't. I don't want to at all.
Alright.
Why is that?
Do you have any...
Eagles in the Super Bowl, I don't want to talk about that.
I can talk about that all day, homie.
I don't want to talk about it.
Let the man talk.
We don't have to.
I mean, I think you'd be in the same boat if the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl and the Eagles didn't.
Oh, I definitely feel where you're coming from.
Yeah. It's hard being pretty much a fan of anybody in the NFC East.
Yeah, I feel you.
Especially if you're an Eagles, Redskins, or Cowboy fan, considering you have to worry about the Giants. Oh, man, the Giants. You're an Eagles fan, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So I think you and me can both agree. The Giants and the Redskins are pretty much the two worst teams in the NFC East.
I think that's fair to say, at least as of right now.
Thanks.
The Giants could have a bounce back year. You
Who?
never know, guys.
Who?
The Giants.
The Giants?
We've seen trash teams bounce back this year, alright? The Jags weren't very good last year. The Vikings.
That's fair. We
bunch of
saw
people.
it happen in 2016 with the Cowboys. I think it was 1-15, 13-3 the next season. The NFL is a crazy, crazy place. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to touch a little base on, talk about at all?
I have one more point. I understand. You might have other people that want to call in. So if you want to let me go,
Well,
for time's sake, I totally understand that.
you can make your point, just be quick.
All right. I think Carson Wentz will be back at the beginning of the season next year, and I think the Eagles will at least win 11 games next season, and will grab the NFC East title. First team to do it 2 years in a row since like 2004 or something like that. So that's my final point.
I agree.
I might be able to see that. I might not. If they force Carson Wentz into the game too early and that ACL is not healed, then it could be a totally different story.
They won't. The Eagles management is good enough to know when Carson Wentz is ready.
Well,
So is Carson Wentz. They won't force
well, it's different. It is a lot different, you know. The Eagles are probably a way better franchise than the New York Giants. So I'm just saying that.
it. And the Cowboys.
All right, well, thanks for calling in. It was good having you. Hopefully you call in some other time, because it was really fun talking to you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting out videos. You know, people are enjoying it, and I enjoy getting to be able to talk to you tonight.
Keep hating on them.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, okay, that guy was that was really funny. That was really fun. I enjoyed talking to him a lot. Yeah, enjoying talking to an Eagles fan. Yeah, it happens. Oh, man, he was smart. He made some good points. Stat Talk, what do you have to say?
I saw a lot of good points there. He was obviously very experienced.
Hold on, we have another call. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Hey! Hold on.
PG, man.
How are you doing?
Man, I can't complain. About to hit up this gym real quick.
Alright, so
What's
anything...
up with you, my man? Stat Talk.
Stat Talk, you're getting some love.
Yeah, that's my man. But yeah, man, shoot, man, I'm on your show, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see what y'all talk about.
So, you want to talk about anything, or do you want me to talk, or want me to...
I was listening to what y'all was saying, and, you know, it was a lot of truth, but it was a lot of stuff that y'all wasn't mentioning. You know, like, remember I just commented on your last video, and I said that, you know, the Tom Brady Belichick era was mired in controversy because first you had Spygate.
Right.
That's a known fact.
Yeah.
Then the Super Bowl that they went to, where I'm trying to figure out. I think it was it the first Super Bowl? Just look up the tuck rule. They invented that jump because of the Patriots. That was a fumble, but you see what I'm saying? The play that the refs overruled allowed them to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that's something that nobody even mentioned. I remember that vividly because I was watching that game. They beat the Raiders because of that.
That's
and,
right.
You know, like I said, the flake game. But you know, none of that takes away from the greatness of a Tom Brady. I'm not even a Patriots fan by any chance, but I can sit there and say since I've been watching Tom Brady, you know, the man is going to his 8th Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
he's definitely good.
Yeah, you know, pre-ACL injury, he had enough clout to get into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
After the ACL, he won 2 more rings, has a chance to win another one. So, you know, sign, seal, and deliver. I think he's the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. I'm not saying most talented. I'm not saying, you know, most charismatic or whatever. But I'm talking about in terms of, you know, do we want this guy with the rock and, you know, one play left to win it all? Yes, I want him because he is the man. So, you know, this is, you know, that's all I got to say about that. But then, you know, when y'all was talking about the injury, I feel as though, you know, like you said, I agree with what both of y'all were saying. There are injuries that, you know, not only can be career threatening, but you just have the same play after that.
Right.
I don't care what, you know, I mean, we've seen it time and time again. You know, granted, Tom Brady was an exception. You know, Peyton Manning was another exception. You know, not everybody can be an Iron Man like Brett Favre.
Right.
But, you know, there are people who aren't the same after that. And like Jonathan Cooper is an example.
Yeah.
You know, he was not the same guard coming out of college. He played for Arizona. He got picked in the first round for a reason. He had a knee injury, and he hasn't been the same ever since. He has not been the same ever. Watch his college tape, and then look at him now. He hasn't even. I can see if he was playing like season after season. No, he got hurt once. He was never the same player after that. So, you know, that's all I gotta say about that, man. But you know, I'm team Dallas Cowboys talk. I'm on your side, man.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate that, and I'm gonna bring it back to what somebody said. They said that I've gone on record saying that you can't bounce back from injuries. Well, I did say that, but I guess now that I've thought about it, and what I really meant to say was it's hard to bounce back from some injuries, not all. Some. I mean, yeah, a broken finger, that's an injury. You can probably, hopefully bounce back from that. But, like, if, like, you have a punctured lung, a broken back like Tony Romo, it's hard to come back from that. And that's pretty much what I meant. Like, yeah, a torn ACL, it's hard to come back. It's possible. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. It's possible you can come back. But it's harder to come back from that kind of an injury other than, like, a small little broken arm or hand injury.
I said it in the video, too.
Back in the day, you know, it was a done deal. If you got an ACL, LCL injury, it was a wrap for you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the marvels of modern medical science, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of players are fortunate in that regard. But, you know, another guy who I didn't even mention, Jalen Smith, is an example. Structurally, his knee is fine, but it's his nerve. Like, nothing is, he still has the instincts. He still has all the athleticism, but his knee, I mean, the nerve that I think he pinched it or he did something to the nerve. He had a nerve injury. So people say, nah, he's an example of it. Get him play and you can tell that he's not fully healthy yet.
Yeah.
So,
because if he's fully healthy and how good your offensive line is, better watch out for him if he's fully healthy. Because that guy...
Yeah, he's a beast, man. You know, like I mentioned it before, I'm a Notre Dame fan. To watch him, and, you know, coming out of the draft, people were like, Jack. And you know, he's a damn good player, too. But, you know, this guy, Jalen Smith, is a pure linebacker, old school. He won a Buckets Award in high school for the nation's top linebacker. He wanted in being the nation's top linebacker. That's who I want in the middle, man. And you know, we are even lucky to even like we got him in the second round. I was clapping. I was clapping. I'm doing backflips just because I knew that they picked him for a reason. They didn't listen to nobody else. Everybody else was passing on because of the injury, but our doctor was the one who did the surgery. And you know, I mean, I guess they already knew what time it was, and you know, hopefully he'll be fully healthy next season. We'll see.
And at that point, I wasn't making videos, but let me tell you, that was 2016 draft, I believe. And when we got him, I was thinking, okay, I can understand why we got him. I'm just worried about injury. I hope if he can, because this guy can be a beast if he can bounce back. It's going to be hard, but I believe he can. So I do have a question for you. So feel about the coaching staff saying they promise to bring new looks and make the offense more Dak friendly.
I believe it when I see it. You know, in the we're going to do this, we're going to do that, all these wrinkles. You know, we had, what's his name, man, a running back that we had, Lance Dunbar, for example. You know, it took us so long to incorporate, you know, let me preface this by saying he's another one who couldn't stay healthy. But it took us so long to incorporate Lance Dunbar and Cole Beasley into our offense that, you know, when they say, oh, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, I ain't even trying to hear it. The reason why they're saying it is because they know that this season is, you see what I'm saying, you know, making a run in the playoffs or bust. So that's why they, you know what I mean, that's why they're doing all this rapping. I ain't even trying to hear all of that stuff. I want to see it on the field when the season starts.
Right. Yeah, I agree. You know, I don't know how, I hope we decide to make it more Dak friendly, but why didn't we do it going into what experts say the hardest year of their career, which is their sophomore year? Why didn't we do it during that off season? Try and look up what Dak needs and do it and try and make the offense more for him for what, like I said, experts say is their hardest year in the NFL.
I guess I would have to go back and look at some more of the tape, because from what I saw, it wasn't a problem of, you know, the offense not being Dak friendly, but more, you know, a line not being healthy, right. You know, Zeke being suspended and him not playing up to his level, and just everybody around Dak is, you know, not absorbing Dak, because he was slumming too. He was, you know, earned on a whole bunch of throws, but there were times when he made plays, and you know, people just couldn't come up with the ball. So when everybody be like, "Oh, Dak is horrible. Look at how inaccurate he is," I'm like, "Yeah, but what about that pass that, you know, Bryce Butler just dropped? That could have been a 30-yard bomb. He dropped it, Butterfinger." But nobody wants to mention that.
Right.
So I think if our line plays, if our line is healthy, you know, if Tyron Smith is healthy. When Tyron Smith was out of the game, they got 19 sacks.
Ouch.
19 sacks when he was out of the game. He only missed like 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. You know, 8 of those was in Atlanta game. That's crazy.
Right.
So, if our line, I think we nail, you know, Brown, I hope we incorporate Noah Brown, switch some more. We need to run some 10 personnel, because I think that'll be our matchup defense.
Right.
You know, capable enough to 10 personnel group with wide receivers like we had.
Right.
You know, that'll be pretty hard. You got to put Dime on the field, and even with that, it's still going to be hard because somebody's going to be open.
Right.
I mean, we can run an empty set. Like, who? I mean, it's just so many different things that we can do offensively.
Yeah.
So I'm just focused on our defense. But, I mean, what else you got for me, man?
So, with Ezekiel Elliott, do you think that we would have been able to do better if he was in all of the games?
Yes, but at the same time, I think that, because think about the games that the games that he did play. Like the Green Bay and the Rams game, he was in those, we lost.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I remember when we played the Broncos. Going into week 2, I said, okay, if we win this game, then I think we'll be all right. This is the indicator of our season. This is to let me know that last season wasn't a fluke. So when we lost that game, I was like, damn, here we go. And everybody was like, I remember because I used to go on a little Dallas Cowboys forum. They was talking, oh man, y'all screaming the sky's falling. This is only week 2. I'm like, man, I've seen this team enough to know, how we go over the course of a 16-week season. Week 3 we beat the Cardinals? Yeah, week 3 we beat the Cardinals. But even then, I still wasn't really, confident in the fact that they played a good team, that we would beat them soundly.
Right.
So, to answer your question, Zeke was there when we played the Rams and we played the Packers. Man, we lost over those games that we were winning.
True. I think if Sean Lee though was there, I think we could have won. I mean, he's the manager of the defense. He's a great linebacker and a great player. And I think though his absence, he's like a leader on the defense, and I think we missed him.
It showed because Jalen Smith went from playing I forgot how many snaps, but his workload got increased because remember Anthony Hitchens was out,
right?
And then Anthony was out, so he's still on the field. He was only the plan for Jalen Smith was to play like 15 to 20 some snaps a game, and that was it.
Right.
But he had to play because we were weak at linebacker. You want to know who else? I'm glad you mentioned linebacker. That damn Damian Wilson, man, he needs to go. He ain't done nothing. I thought he was gonna be all right, man. He ain't done nothing.
I thought he was gonna be a future Hall of Fame linebacker for Dallas. Well, maybe not Hall of Fame, but
yeah, I'm about to say nah. Don't give him too much credit. I thought he was gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought he was. If we had a linebacker a la Ken Norton, like somebody like I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you heard about Ken Norton, but he was on our team doing those Super Bowl runs. He was damn good. He was real good.
Oh, yeah.
And, Sean Lee, man, just imagine if Sean Lee could stay healthy, man. Like, he would be a perennial all-pro.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm just hoping that we can draft somebody, somebody who can play the position and, spell him and Sean.
Right.
And, have him save some wear and tear on his body, man, because he's like Jason Witten. He's the epitome of a Dallas Cowboy, man.
Right. And you asked me if I knew who Ken Norton was. Of course I know who he is. He's amazing. Now, you ask me any player on the Cowboys, even some that aren't that known great, I'll probably be able to name them from the 90s. I mean, not many people know who Bill Bates is. I have one of his football cards. I have a whole collection like this big of a book, this big by this big, of full Cowboy cards, and I have, I think, two Ken Norton cards, a couple Jay Novaceks, and
hey, that was my man.
Novacek.
Hey, Novacek. Hey, man, that's back. Hey, you should have seen him, man. That shoulder pads was totally different, man. Jay Novacek was my man. I used to sweat him so tough. So when we got Jason Witten, Jason Witten is bad about Jay Novacek.
Right.
He used to bounce, but Jay Novacek was damn good. That was my man. I used to sweat Jay Novacek. He was a beast.
Yeah. If we had Jay Novacek and Daryl the Moose Johnston in the lineup, and Emmitt Smith, as long as we had Larry Allen blocking, and I forget his name. I'm going to remember
man, we had Larry Allen, Mark Tuanay,
and
I think Stepnowski.
Right.
Nate Newton, you see what I'm saying? Come on,
that's who it was.
Squad, but another thing you forgot to mention, that was before the salary cap earned, so Jerry had the money.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So it don't work like that no more. But we had a squad. We have a squad now. We have the talent now to win. Not necessarily to win the game, but we have the squad now to win games, and that's what upset me most about this season.
And this is, I'm gonna say, this season to me, it was a disappointment, but it wasn't, because so far these past 2 seasons are the best we've done since I'd say 1996. Because when was the last time we went 13-3 one year, then the next year wasn't followed by a 3-4 win game winning season. It was 13-3, 9-7. 2 mediocre seasons, which this season normally would have gotten us into the playoffs. If it was last year, we would have been in. If it was pretty much any other year but this year, we would have gotten in. And let me tell you, if we would have gotten into the playoffs and Zeke was 100%, Sean Lee was 100%, we would have made noise. Maybe not the Super Bowl, but we would have made at least a run at it. Maybe not going to it, but a run, a good run. Like winning 2, maybe 1 game, but would have been a hell of a lot better than getting 0 wins.
Respect. Yeah, but before I smash out, man, like you on Stat Talk, like what was it about the Cowboys that that endured y'all to them? How did Cowboys fans were y'all from? Like I can't figure that out.
Well, Stat Talk, why don't you talk a little bit? Stat Talk?
Alright, well, he in the mix, man. Like,
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is, as for me, you see what I'm saying, growing up in this area, like, if you was to come to DC, you would be like, why is there so many Cowboys fans out here? You wouldn't be able to figure it out. Washington, DC is the home of the Redskins. I hate the Skins.
I'm like that here. I live up in Maine, and everywhere, whenever I wear my Zeke jersey out, everybody's like, go Cowboys, go Zeke, go Dak, we're the best team. I'm like, man, wow.
That's what's up.
You would have thought
what's up, man.
You would have thought, oh, Cowboy, get that at. No, they're all like, let's go Cowboys. I had a teacher last year, surrounded by Patriots, Giants fans. Me and him stood out, and more people in the school came out and said, hey, I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. Ever since then, ever since I became, a true diehard, not just a fan sitting watching saying, go Cowboy, but a true diehard fan doing Instagram, I've noticed more and more than any other fan base in the NFL.
Respect. Yeah.
Stat
You
Talk.
already know what time it is, man. But on that note, man, keep doing what you're doing. Tell Stat Talk I said what's up. And, keep pushing out your content, man. I'm going to support you. You coming up, man. You getting them followers, man. Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Yeah, thanks. It's always a pleasure talking to you, especially considering you're one of my biggest supporters.
I am the biggest supporter. The minute I saw, he a Lord Younger, and he rep for the Cowboys. Oh, it's a done deal. So you already know what time it is, man. But go ahead and handle yours, man. Keep pushing out the content, man. I'm a support. That's all I can do, man. And DCT, PG, we in the building, man. I'm gonna get it with you, son. Stay up.
All right, well, thanks for calling in, and let me tell you, I'm planning something big for this draft.
Hey, I appreciate it. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, thanks for calling in, and thanks for talking.
Ain't nothing. Peace.
Peace out. So, Cowboy X Factor, I'm gonna read off a lot of your comments because you did comment a lot. You said, "Hey, are you okay, DCT? I thought you would dress up. Thanks. Where is your cowboy gear? Please explain." Well, I just came from a thing. Let me pause this so I can make sure that he's gonna be here. I'm back, by the way. So, Doc, man, I enjoy talking to you guys. You guys are the best. Man, this is fun. We have had a couple callers. I just talked to someone, so hopefully he can call in. But so Stat Talk, let's talk a little bit between you and me. So, do you think James Washington would fit in the Cowboys?
It's hard to say. They obviously have different spots that they need to go for and everything, and their roster was kind of dysfunctional this year, so they do need to make changes. So, for the sake of just what's happening right now with the Cowboys, I'm gonna just say no. I understand they need to make moves and stuff, but I just don't think he would fit the best with them. Obviously, there's been surprises with people like the Cowboys. Let's say the Cowboys get him. all that stuff, and he does great for them. All right, there's always hypothetical, but I think for me, there's more of a chance of him not fitting as well with the Cowboys than of him actually fitting as well with the Cowboys.
So he said he's always dreamed of being a Cowboy player, but let me say this. I think we should go for Roquan Smith or Vita Vea, because those two guys are huge, big playmakers. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I definitely think those two positions would definitely be those two players. Excuse me, would be much better for the Cowboys. Just like I understand you want to get some I understand that at least you've told me that Zeke and Dak are Cowboys fans, and if they're a fan of the team they're playing for and they turn out to be a star, they're less likely to leave because they're always like that team. Obviously, there are other reasons. I'm not saying that Dak or Zeke might leave in the future. I'm not saying that won't happen, but because there's always a possibility, like the ownership, the team, they might not think. Like if the Cowboys don't build around Dak and Zeke, they might go championship hunting toward the back end of their career. So, but yeah, it's definitely better. Gives you more of a chance to keep them around.
So hold on, I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna pause this really quick. I agree. I hope they don't, but free agency killed the 90s Cowboys. We could have won one more Super Bowl if free agency wouldn't have happened. So I know I've been getting a lot of hate, so here we go.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, yeah. Even Emmitt Smith said that we could have won one more Super Bowl in the 90s if it wasn't for free agency.
There's some, that's also hypothetical, right?
Well, if we would have kept Jimmy Johnson, we probably could have won.
This is football, though, DCT. This is football. This isn't basketball or any of those other sports. And I'm a bigger basketball fan than I'm a football fan. You already know that. But I know enough about football to know that there are some upsets and there are some things that could happen. So that's a huge might that they might have another ring, another banner on their stadium.
Right.
But is there any other questions you'd like to ask before we get another caller?
So, how do you feel about the Cowboys not wanting to sign David Irving to a long-term deal?
See, it's the Cowboys. I've said it all over the time that the Cowboys need something new and fresh in their system. I understand why they wouldn't want to sign a long-term deal with him, but he's a young dude, so it's just hard. They might think something bad might happen with him, and you never want to sign a contract. And I know, especially, I'm just going to use this in basketball perspective here. There were some players this year that got signed to a huge contract, and now they're not playing very well. So it's just a big deal. Like, obviously, it's not an age problem with Irving, but it's could be a skill problem that they don't want to pay him extra money for that long term and just be stuck with his contract. Like, because if he's set to a long term contract with a decent amount of money, then teams might not want to trade for him for as much.
Right. So, if you owned the Cowboys or general manager, would you sign David Irving to a long-term deal?
How long-term are we talking here?
Depends. Just the long-term deal.
We talking like 5 years?
Yeah, something around there.
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
I think 3's my max. And that's just because of what I just said. All right, Cowboys and I know the previous caller said this. Championship windows close fast, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the Cowboys don't win for the next couple of years, and stuff start south, and they still have this guy on the contract, and it's so hard in football to, like, the Cowboys are one of the better young teams, but in 5 years, Zeke will be 27. All these. They'll be getting older, all right? Your Dak and your Zeke are going to be older,
Right.
And when people get older, I know most times they stay honorary. They keep with the team that drafted them, but especially Zeke and Dak and other players on their roster, on the Cowboys roster. I'm just using Zeke and Dak as an example, but they might be like, I gotta go get me some rings real quick, right?
Right.
So, I think championship windows close fast, and I don't think it's a good idea to sign someone that for a long time and not be able to get your worth out of him afterward.
True. That's a good point. Well, I like David Irving. I'd sign to a 3, maybe 4-year term. That way, because maybe not this year, but, because he's injury. We haven't had a full year with him for, I don't know how long.
And that's a factor, too.
Right, but I don't know how long he's been in the league. So, So, do you think the Cowboys should franchise tag DeMarcus Lawrence? He's already came out and said, I'm okay with being franchise tagged, whatever it is to get me back here in Dallas.
That's another tough decision that the Cowboys have to make. And I think these next couple of years are going to be huge decisions for the Cowboys. And DeMarcus Lawrence, is a great player. Is he as important to the Cowboys to franchise tag him? He's 25 years old, so fairly young. But I'm gonna say this is a very tough decision, all right, for the Cowboys. And I said it just earlier. The Cowboys, they're gonna have to make tough decisions if they want to win a Super Bowl, all right? And they're gonna win one. If they're going to win one, they have to try it for the next 5 years.
Right.
And let's just say they win in year 5. DeMarcus Lawrence is 30,
Right.
And that's not too bad for a linebacker / end. So I'm gonna say yes. Right. But this could be a horrible decision and it'll backfire on them. But I'm gonna say yes.
All right, so we do have a new viewer, and I want to say that this is a call-in show, by the way, unless it's somebody that's already been viewing and I haven't noticed. You can call in. I'm actually gonna, So you can call in, just talk with me or debate if you want. It's really fun. I enjoy having you. What?
Just remember to call in. Just remember to call in fairly soon because it's getting late and the live stream might end fairly quickly. So
True.
If we don't get a caller in, so
Right.
Just remember to call in, talk for a few minutes so you can watch the stream a little bit longer and.
Which I do want to talk to one of my friends, so I'll be right back, guys. Because not everybody has a YouTube account where they can just comment and stuff. You need one to comment. So number is 207-312-9135. 207-312-9135. So yeah, it's really fun. By the way, if we don't get a caller in the next minute and a half, the live stream will end, which doesn't matter because the people that did call in were on for a long time, which is okay. It's fine. We just I love talking to you, all of you guys. And
yeah, and if they didn't talk for as long as they did, then maybe we wouldn't be on it this long. So
Right. That's true.
and we always thank them for their time. So.
And by the way, guys,
Sure.
I did hit 65 subscribers. Big milestone for me. Maybe not for you, but it is for me. I appreciate it a lot. Over the past something months, however long I've been doing it, I've kept this notebook on everything that we've done. And let me tell you, I've torn just this much all in the past, I'd say, month and a half. Yeah,
You've had the YouTube channel for more than a month and a half.
No, I mean, this is just from then. Because my first note page in here was from, a long time ago. Not that long ago, even, just versus the Redskins. So I just want to say thank you all so much for that. This has been an incredible journey. It's been really fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you guys. So let's get right back into talking Cowboys. By the way, guys, you can call in. It's really fun. I'll actually, next time someone calls in, I'll give them a choice, talk to me or stat talk, because, that's always fun. So let's talk a little bit about the draft. Do you want to?
I feel like we've covered the draft.
No, I mean for other teams, not just Dallas.
Okay.
So let's go up to the 15th pick, which is Arizona. So the Browns are number 1. Who do you have them drafting the first pick?
So it's a very big decision for the Browns, all right?
Right.
So they have Deshaun Kaiser, who did not play the best, but you have to think, again, he's in the Browns organization, so immediately then you're put at a disadvantage. So
Right.
You want me to say who I have them taking, or who I think would be the best for them taking?
Well, whichever one you want to say. I guess, who do you have them taking? Or what position, at least? Just the position.
Oh, this is really hard, alright. But if I'm saying who I think they should draft, Shaquan Barkley from Penn State.
What position?
Running back.
All right.
Best running back in the draft. But many mock drafts have them taking either him or a quarterback, which would be Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen.
All right, so for the Browns' first pick, I have them drafting a quarterback. All right, and
which is dumb, which is stupid. Let me just say that.
Why?
Because what are the chances they draft a superstar quarterback?
Okay, that's fair.
All right, look, they already had Deshaun Kaiser.
Okay, he's
did
good.
not play great this season, but he's with the Browns. All right, offensive line's dysfunctional for the most part.
That's
I know
fair.
they have some didn't have much help at running back. I mean, he had a little bit, and wide receivers, not much skill at all. All right, so and they're the Browns. They make bad decisions. All right.
That's fair.
Sean Kaiser is good enough to stick with for now. All right. Right now, you need other pieces to build around him, and I think the best step at that is a running back. Like you see Zeke and Dak in their first year.
Right.
Dak put the pressure off Zeke, and Zeke put the pressure off Dak. All right. You saw how dysfunctional they were without Zeke in every single week. And I know there was other issues and blah, 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 but that was the biggest one. You can't disagree with that.
Well, that's fair. And I'm going to go on the first pick and say either quarterback, defensive end, defensive tackle, or running back, like you said.
There's no defensive tackles that are good enough to be picked that high up.
Okay, that's fair. So the Giants.
I mean, there's Bradley Chubb at defensive end.
That's it. That's basically the best. So Giants, you don't even need to explain this. Just pick your pick, because I think we all have the same thing.
yours?
Quarterback.
All right, I can see that.
There's
But-
no way Eli Manning should stay another year there.
I don't know. Last year he seemed to do pretty good. He wasn't the best, but he's pretty good.
Okay.
I would have had him over Tony Romo.
Last year's.
Not last year's, the year before that. It's Tony Romo compared to the last year's
Eli Manning?
Eli Manning.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd have.
I-
Nah, I don't know.
I like Eli. I like Eli.
Who do you have him picking?
All right, so this is a big hypothetical. All right, whoever the Cleveland Browns take, which is going to be Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, or Roquan Smith.
Right.
Not Roquan. Not. Oh my gosh, Shaquan Barkley. I got Roquan Smith in my mind.
Right.
I think if the Browns take a quarterback, the New York Giants are going to take Shaquan Barkley.
Right. Yeah. All right.
But if the Cleveland Browns are smart in the brain, and
Which
take
they
Shaquan
aren't.
Barkley,
All right. Who do you have the?
the Giants will take Sam Darnold.
What?
The Giants will take Sam Darnold.
Oh.
If the Browns are smart in the brain and take Shaquan Barkley. If they aren't, they take a quarterback. Then you can expect New York Giants to have a young stud running back that's better than Zeke and Todd Gurley, according to a quote that I found on Instagram earlier today.
All right. What position do you think the Colts will take?
Well, pretty much every one of the, I know, especially, I've seen the one from Bleacher Report, and I'm trying to remember who they took. Yeah. It's the Bradley Chubb, the defensive end from North Carolina State.
Well, I have them actually picking a running back. I don't think they're too strong in the running game, and I think they need a running back.
Who?
The Colts.
Who do you have them taking?
Hard to say. There's...
If the Shaquan Barkley, you haven't had him been picked yet, and he's the best running back in the draft.
Well, it all
There's
depends. If
nobody
he's gotten
close.
picked, I don't know who they should take. But if he hasn't, then
Juice
definitely
is the next
him.
best one. Darius Juice is the next one.
Who?
Darius Juice.
You know what? I could see that.
He's picked to be picked 20th.
Excuse me? Okay, you know what? I could see that because number 20 is the Lions. So I could see that.
Yeah, you know. Alright, so who do you have him taking?
Who?
Who do you have the Colts taking?
Well, Shaquan Barkley isn't taking him if he is Juice.
I can't see how he won't. Like, I know most mock drafts have him taken later, but he's a young stud, alright?
Yeah,
I
that's
just don't
fair.
see how you leave out on him for that long. Like, top 3 pick, easy for him.
Right.
If not top 1.
That's fair.
He should be top 1. If the Browns are stupid enough to mess this one up, then I just can't say enough about their organization.
The Browns are a dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they have been for a long time. Alright, so number 5 we have the Broncos. What position do you think the Browns should take?
The Browns or the Broncos?
Browns. Oh,
Number 4?
yeah, number 4. Yeah, sorry. Oof.
Alright. So the Browns, number 4.
Yep.
I think most mock drafts have them taking offense and then defense. So if they take Shaquan Barkley like they are supposed to, I can't put enough effort into this. They should take Shaquan Barkley. But they're not. The Browns aren't going to take another player on defense. On offense, they're going to take a defense.
I say the same
player.
thing.
Which means if you say, if the scenario that you say goes down and the first 2 picks go for quarterbacks and then and then Saquon Barkley goes to the Colts, then obviously Bradley Chubb goes to the Browns.
Right.
Which would be sick. I don't know if it's the best situation for them. I think they definitely need a defensive back, but Bradley Chubb is a lot to pass up. Like, especially their defensive ends are decent this year. I think they were better than they are most years. Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I definitely think they should go with a defensive tackle. Next, going on.
I don't think so. Defensive back.
Okay, that's fair. I could see that.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I could see that. Easy. Number 5, though, we have the Broncos. Quarterback, definitely. I think if they're smart, definitely should pick a quarterback.
I can agree with that.
All right. Now,
Baker Mayfield from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or Josh Rosen. I think that if the Giants take a quarterback, they should definitely take Baker Mayfield over Tim Darnold, though. So.
Right. All right. At number 6 is the Jets.
I mean, Josh Rosen.
The Jets for number 6. Who do you have? I have a quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I ain't gonna cut it. I don't think that's gonna cut it for him.
I think it's too late to get a quarterback that's gonna help them tremendously. Because the next best quarterback, if Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield are taken, which that's 3 quarterbacks in 6 picks.
Oof.
And like I see one of them being on the board, but I'm just going off I'm just gonna go on a Bleacher Report, just mock draft, and let's just say all of those players get taken. I don't see it. I see Saquon Barkley being taken by one of those teams, the Colts, the Giants, or the Browns. But
right,
if they aren't all taken, then a quarterback, obviously.
Right, and the Bucs, obviously.
Whichever one's on the board. All right, but if they aren't, none of them are on the board, then an offensive tackle or somebody on the line.
All right, I can see that. Now let's start to roll through these. Let's just pick the positions. All right, for the Bucs, linebacker. What position do you think?
The linebacker or corner, Denzel Ward or Roquan Smith.
All right, the Bears, the terrible, terrible Bears. Wide receiver, they need one. You know.
I mean, they might want to replace Alshon Jeffrey.
Right.
But I have them taking somebody on defense.
All right.
They're a cornerback, linebacker, or somebody.
49ers, they could use a wide receiver.
The Raiders?
What? Oh, no.
Raiders.
Raiders are number 10.
Oh, okay.
The 49ers, I have them picking a wide receiver. They need a new Jerry Rice.
And who do you think that would be?
Oh, boy. Could be Christian Kirk. It could be Washington. Who I want.
I think Calvin Ridley or Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, could be Calvin Ridley. I could see that.
I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft. Christian Kirk also, but he's probably going to get taken later.
All right. Raiders defense back, hands down. They need it.
Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith to Oakland.
Don't say that around me.
There's no way he's going to stay all the way there until pick 19. Yeah, boy. DCT. No way.
Ya boy, DCT. Okay. Not even going to touch. Gaboy, DCT. Gaboy, Gaboy. Okay.
I have to say that around you because you're a little baby when it comes to the Cowboys. And just general life.
Okay, so those were our top 10 picks for the NFL draft.
Roquan Smith to the Raiders.
Shut up. We'll see you guys next time. This was a fun video. We're gonna probably record something sometime for you, and I'll see you guys. See you guys next time. Peace off.
Bye.
That was Stat Talk saying bye. I don't know if you could tell it was a little babyish.